What's going on, my MGTOW brothers? This is Blue, the recovering beta male, and I would like to welcome you all to another installment of the Recovering Beta Male podcast, where we are all about empowering men through enlightened self-interest. If you find this content to be of any value to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your fellow MGTOW brothers. And now, let's get into the episode. What's going on, my MGTOW brothers? This is Blue, the recovering beta male, back at you again with another episode of the Recovering Beta Male podcast. So, in this particular episode, I want to focus on self-improvement. Like I said in my previous episode, I want to make sure that this channel stays focused on empowering men, empowering us through what I like to call enlightened self-interest. Okay? We got to be about our self-improvement, fellas. I don't want us to spend too much time complaining about women. They are going to be who and what they are. They're going to continue to do what they do, and nothing's going to change that. We should not even waste our time and energy trying to shape and mold them into what we want them to be. They're going to be who they are. And that is exactly why we have to be who the fuck we are. But sometimes you got to take a few steps back and ask yourself, who am I? See, here's the problem, fellas. See, we get so wrapped up in the bitches. We constantly chasing ass. We constantly trying to hit up the club to go and talk to bitches, trying to bang bitches, get those notches in our belts or whatever, be a player and all that type of shit. And see, all of this chasing, all of this fucking pursuing is distracting us from our true missions and true purposes in our lives. It robs us of quality of life because we're putting all the focus and energy and attention on fucking women. And like I said in my previous episode, women are human beings. They're people just like we are. And the more we chase and pursue, the more we perpetuate the fucking idea that women are something to be glorified. Women are something to be placed on pedestals and to be placed above ourselves. We put them before we put them before our mission and our purpose. And that's the trap. That's part of how they gain all the power that they have, is because we give it to them through over pursuing, through chasing ass and always trying to fuck something. Now, I know, fellas, we got testosterone. I know we stay horny, dick stay hard. We always looking for something to fuck. That's a part of male nature that ain't going to change either. But we got to start transmutating some of that sexual energy into a creative and constructive purpose and mission. Take some time, if you haven't already done so, and even if you've read this book, check it out again. The book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. There is a particular chapter in that book that talks about the concept of sex transmutation. It's a concept that basically deals with taking sexual energy and willfully, purposefully, consciously channeling that sexual energy into a very specific purpose. Men have to get back to using their sexual energy in that particular instance, not in just, the physical sense. Okay, so let's get on this thing of enlightened self-interest. So first, let's take a look at the definition of the word enlightened. Enlightened simply means having or showing a rational, modern, and well-informed outlook. Or another definition for it is to be spiritually aware. Okay, so when we talk about having enlightened self-interest, we're talking about being self-focused in a way that is constructive both to ourselves and to those around us. We're talking about being self-focused in a way that is productive, that is building of things that are of substance. So building of empires, building of business, trade, industry, building relationships, satisfying, healthy, gratifying relationships that are healthy for all parties involved. That is enlightened self-interest. Now, for me, in my life personally, I have 5 main areas or categories of my life in which I'm trying to gain order and structure. See, my MGTOW brothers, keep in mind that life is holistic. You can't put too much energy and focus into just one or even 2 areas of your life. Life is holistic. Life is meant to be balanced. The more balanced your life is, the healthier and the happier you will be. Now, these are just my 5 categories. I'm not saying that there has to be 5 areas or 5 categories. You can come up with as many as you want for yourself. But you should have, in my experience, I have learned that it's preferably better if you have more than two areas of your life that you're focusing on trying to get into order. For me, my areas are career, health, hobbies, relationships, and spirituality. And we're going to touch on each of these departments as these podcast episodes continue to come into manifestation here. So just to kind of to go over them real quick as they pertain to my life in particular. Career is all about having a mission and purpose that makes you money. So you can have multiple missions, you can have multiple purposes. All of them don't have to be about money, but of course, we all need money to survive in this world, so it's kind of up there at the top priority. For me, I have a passion for communication. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy writing. It's part of why I initiated this podcast. I'm in sales and marketing, and I enjoy communicating with people in a way that persuades and influences them to take certain actions. So I have chosen that particular career path, and that is my mission and purpose that makes me money. Okay. Health-wise, I'm currently a bit overweight, trying to get that under control, trying to drop some weight and get healthier, get stronger. I mean, I'm not bad, but I could definitely use quite a bit of improvement in that area, as I'm sure most of us could. See, the thing you got to keep in mind, fellas, is that the healthier your body is, the healthier your mind is. And when your mind and your body are healthy, you can get maximum enjoyment and fulfillment out of life. If you're constantly worried about your health, if you're constantly spending countless hours in the damn doctor's office, you're on medications, and especially nowadays, these medications come with some pretty heavy side effects. And usually what happens is once you start on medications, it's hard as hell to get off of them because, you just keep needing more and more different types of medication to combat the side effects of the previous medications that you started taking. It's a damn chain effect, and it's a trap. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. Hobbies. Now, surprisingly, this is an area of life that often gets overlooked by many of us. And I would imagine that most of it is probably because, we spend so much time working, just trying to pay the bills and keep ourselves together, take care of our kids and our families, that we neglect we neglect the sides of ourselves that desire and require fun, recreation, fulfillment, relaxation, rejuvenation. You know, you got to ask yourself, brothers, what feeds your soul? What makes you happy? What makes you excited to wake up in the morning? See, this is stuff that we lose touch of or lose touch with. Growing up in our various family situations, maybe having fun wasn't encouraged in your particular family situation. Maybe you grew up in a family where it was just all about work. It was all about survival, and there wasn't any time for fun and recreation. Maybe your family didn't take regular vacations each year. Maybe you've never even been outside of the town or city that you were born and raised in. But you've got to start asking yourself what feeds your soul. And I'm not, brothers, we got to get off the sex, okay? We all want sex. I know that some of you are probably thinking right now, well, my hobby is sex. Look, do your thing. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I am strongly advising that you diversify, okay? Expand your mind and include some other things. There's got to be something else that fulfills you and makes you happy besides just fucking all the goddamn time. You got to diversify your life. Like you have a portfolio of financial investments. Have a fucking portfolio of investments for your mind and for your health and your happiness. Don't just put all your eggs in one damn basket. Life, from what I have seen and observed from the people that I know and love and are in relationships with, who appear to me to be the healthiest and the happiest, are people who have a variety of things to look forward to in the average day's time. Not just fucking, not just food, not just television, not just, being on the street corner talking shit with your boys. Look, do what you do. But I strongly advise that you have a selection of things to choose from on any given day that feed your soul and make you happy. So hobbies is very important. Relationships. Now, again, not just talking about your sexual relationships. What about the relationships that you have with your family? Or maybe if you don't get along all that well with your family, who do you get along with? Who do you have in your circle of friends and associates and acquaintances and colleagues that are like-minded, that make you feel good to be around, that inspire you, that empower you, that encourage you to go for more, do more, be more? Who do you know that is somebody that you could just call up and just talk to just for the purpose of just rapping with them, because the conversation feeds your spirit. You feel energized when you get off the phone with that person. Those are quality relationships, and it ain't got to be of a sexual nature. It ain't even got to be with a female. You can have good relationships with other men. And I think, brothers, we all about this MGTOW shit. We got to get back to having good quality relationships with other men. That is part of how the feminism shit has crept in the door and has taken over and gained all of the momentum that it has acquired. And part of the reason for that is because men, we don't bond with other men, in healthy ways, in ways that build community and strength and reliance on our fellow men, and I'm sure that a lot of this shit, man, took place. It all started when we were very small. You figure, and I'm going to do a podcast episode where we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the causation of how all of this stuff came about. Now, of course, this will all be from my own personal perspective. Of course, I don't have the answers to everything dealing with, MGTOW and gender relationships, of course. But I'm sure that the vast majority of us, when we were small, first of all, you figure you go to school. Most of the teachers are women. females. So you're constantly in this mode of having to please women. You go home to your mother who, if you didn't have your father in your life, or even if your father was in your life, you didn't really spend a whole lot of time with him. Maybe he was absent. Maybe he was emotionally distant. He wasn't somebody that you really could connect with or connect to. That definitely contributed to the problem. And then society overall, music, movies, television, the mass media in general is constantly beaming out these messages of men being subservient to women, to females. We'll dig a little bit deeper into that idea as well in an upcoming episode. But we got to get back to bonding with other men in ways that are healthy and constructive and that build community and strength with our fellow men. That, is one of the pillars of MGTOW. It's not just about going your own way or like being a fucking hermit and cutting yourself off from the rest of the world. But it is about getting back to our primal natures as men, and not, like I said, not having any shame or guilt about that, because we are who we are. Women are who they are. They're going to do what they do. We have to do what we do. So the last area or category for my life that I have I really got to focus on is spirituality. Now, I'm sure that just saying that word conjures up thoughts and images and feelings with relationship to religion. But I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about, now, this is just my personal take on the whole spiritual aspect of life. Getting in touch with the unknown, getting in touch with the void. I have no idea whatsoever what your beliefs and feelings are about God. If you don't believe in God, that's all well and good. That's fine. I'm kind of in between, bruh. It's like I have moments of contemplating, is there a God? And then I have moments of saying, well, it's complicated. God is God is a really complicated thing for me to even discuss because let me try to put it in the simplest terms possible. I do believe that there is something that is looking out for me in my life. I do believe that there is a presence. There is something that has been with me along the way, that has brought me through a lot of different trials and tribulations. I just don't call that thing, that something, that power, that essence, God necessarily. I don't call it by any religious title, such as Jesus Christ or Allah or Buddha. I don't have any particular name or term for the essence, but I do feel like there's something there, and as men, we have to figure out for ourselves what God is or means to us. See, these are deep, fundamental life questions that we've just thrown out, just hardly even contemplate because we're chasing ass or, doing things that don't really contribute to our holistic health and happiness. You gotta balance the shit out, bruh. I'm not saying you gotta become celibate and live like a hermit and cut women off and don't date and don't fuck, but get some more balance in your life. Do everything you can to get balance. I will say that, again, some of the healthiest and happiest people that I've ever known are people that know how to diversify. and not just in a financial sense with investment portfolios. I'm talking about having a wide variety of different things to choose from that you can do on any given day that feeds your soul and boosts your morale and helps you to connect with others. Think about this, brothers. What could you do today? What mission, what purpose could you adopt that would put you in a service position? Service, now, hear me out, hear what I'm saying. You want to serve in such a way that it's healthy serving. It's a way that it empowers you and empowers the person that you're helping. You see, when just one side of the equation is getting all of the benefits, see, that's unhealthy. But you want to do something that's mutually beneficial. So it's making you feel good. It's making you feel purposeful, but it's also bringing joy and satisfaction and improving the life quality of someone else. What type of business could you start? What type of movement could you initiate? If you don't have a YouTube channel, could you start one that offers advice and insightful information that empowers other people? What can you do? These are things that we need to get back to doing. This is just as much MGTOW as anything else that is pro-male. We got to get back to doing these things. So I'm going to cut this particular episode a little short, but I'll be back at you again. Until next time, this is Blue, the recovering beta male. This has been another episode of the Recovering Beta Male podcast, and I am your host, Blue, thanking you for taking the time to consume this content. And if it has been of any value to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your fellow MGTOW brothers. Until next time, take care.